What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it has been a minute since I made a video of my 2011 8THGEN Honda Civic Si. I get comments every day on YouTube either about the air suspension on the car or about the Mugen parts. In today's video, I'm gonna do a full walk around of my 2011 8THGEN Honda Civic Si, and I'm going to talk about every modification that I have done. So the first part of the car that we're going to start with is the interior. And when I mean, and I'm going to share every single thing that I've done to the car, I'm going to also give you guys an explanation behind the reason why I went with it as well. So as you guys can see, this is the WeatherTech mat. So I have the WeatherTech mat for the driver's side, and what it basically does is it makes your job a lot easier when it's time to vacuum the car, and it helps keep your carpet looking clean all of the time. So most of the time when it's time to actually clean or vacuum inside of your car, most of the dirt is only around of the edge of the mat, and all of the dirt stays inside of the mat. So it saves you a lot more time when it's time to clean your interior of your car, and your carpet is going to be looking brand new all of the time. So I went ahead and took the WeatherTech mat out, and as you guys can see underneath the WeatherTech mat, the Si mat is basically brand new from when I originally got the car. So if you guys don't know, I actually had this car since the early beginning, I think January of 2012. It is crazy. This car is what, 8-9 years old, and the Si mat looks basically brand spanking new, and the carpet looks brand new as well. But as you guys can see, basically the carpet is brand new, and I had this car since 2012, which is insane. Also, I have the WeatherTech mat for the passenger side, and as you guys can see, the WeatherTech mat basically looks brand new. I highly recommend, if you have a brand new car or a new car with, like, even a used car with low miles, I highly recommend you guys get you some WeatherTech mats. It will make your job a lot easier when it's time to vacuum or clean your car, and you don't have to worry about cleaning the rug. All you have to do is get a brush and soap to clean the WeatherTech mat and dry it as well, and also just vacuum the carpet, and that's about it. This is a must-have. The next interior mod that I did was the interior lights. I upgraded them to LED. So the dome lights, the two in the front, is LED, as you guys can see, and I also upgraded the map light in the rear of the car to LED as well. I highly recommend you guys. This is probably the easiest and cheapest modification that you guys can do to a car that will definitely make a big difference at nighttime. If it's like a late night, you're grabbing groceries or have food in your car, you have your phone in your car and you're trying to find something, and you have upgraded lights in your interior, you can easily find your phone, and it definitely makes your car stand out and make a big difference. So another thing that I did to the interior of the car was this dead pedal. This actually doesn't come factory with the car. This is actually an add-on for the dead pedal to match the rest of the pedals, the gas, the brake, and the clutch. So this is definitely a nice touch to have that uniform look. It would have been dope that this actually came from the factory, but it doesn't. But it is definitely a cool upgrade for your interior. Another interior modification that is one of my favorites is this carbon fiber Mugen shift knob with the red stripe around the middle of the shift knob. This shift knob is definitely an upgrade compared to the stock shift knob. The stock shift knob from the factory is really small. It's actually smaller than this shift knob. One thing that really stood out to me was that the shift knob is carbon fiber, and I thought that was really unique. I've never seen a shift knob that is carbon fiber, and I really like how the red stripe matches the red stitching in the car as well. After I changed out the stock shift knob with this shift knob, the car felt more precise going into every single gear compared to the stock shift knob. So this was a big upgrade, and it's a nice touch, and it definitely feels a lot better. Another thing that I upgraded was the armrest to this Bride armrest. I like how the black Bride armrest, and it has like a different black, kind of like a gray, and it has the word Bride and has the red stitching. It really flow with the stock seats as well, and I also upgraded the shift boot from the black shift boot to this bright shift boot as well. So both of those are identical with the same material, and I definitely got to say it stands out a lot. I also went ahead and went with the JDM red H emblem. It is definitely a nice unique touch, and it also matches the outside red H emblems. If you guys don't know, these red H emblems is a racing heritage for Honda. Something else that's unique that I have in the car is this phone vent holder. I know some of you guys have been DMing me about where did I get this from, so I'm gonna let you guys know in this video. I got this phone vent holder from AutoZone. It is pretty dope. You can, as you guys can see, you can put your phone in here, and it has two prongs on each side and one at the bottom. And as you guys can see, it sits perfect with this airlift controller, and it stays in one place. It doesn't move around if you're on the back roads or if you're accelerating or anything. It stays in one place, so that is pretty dope. If you guys are looking for this phone vent holder, you can get it at AutoZone. So my favorite interior mount for my 8THGEN Honda Civic Si is the Mugen MSZ semi bucket seats. So these are semi bucket seats. Mugen and Recaro, as you guys can see, has the both logos. Mugen and Recaro came up with this seat design. So it has the Mugen logo at the top. It's a full Alcantara seat, front and back. It has the Mugen heritage colors. It has the white, the red, and it's like a bronze color on each side where the shoulder area is at. And it also have padding for your sides as well, and it also have padding on the sides for your legs as well, and it hugs you and keep you in place very nice. One thing I also like is even the middle is full Alcantara as well, and they kind of have like these little holes in them, which is pretty dope. And I don't know if you guys can tell on video, but in the middle it's like a dark black full Alcantara, and the other side of the red stitching is like a charcoal black full Alcantara. So I don't know if you guys can pick that up on camera, but in the inside it's a bit darker, and then on the outside it's a bit lighter, but it is full Alcantara, and that is a pretty unique look and design as well. I gotta say, guys, the reason why I wanted to upgrade my seats, I definitely wanted something that would be able to hug me a little bit more while I'm driving the car in the corners and when I'm driving long distance, compared to the stock seats as well. Also, if you guys didn't know about these seats, they also have the Mugen logo on the back as well, and the back side of the full Alcantara is actually that charcoal gray, and the front is also actually that dark black. That is pretty dope that the back is full Alcantara, and you also have the two holes if you want to run a harness as well. So that is pretty dope, and it's pretty dope and unique that the stitching goes all the way around the whole side of the seat. So that is pretty sick. So I know some of you guys might be wondering, what is this for that says Recaro? So with semi bucket seats, you can recline it to how you like. So you can recline the seat back, forward. With full bucket seats, you cannot recline the seat at all. So that's the reason why I love semi bucket seats. I love having the option to be able to recline the seat whenever. So if you pull this forward, the whole seat will go forward, and if you want to recline the seat, all you have to do is rotate this big triangle that says Recaro, and you can recline the seat forward or backwards. So that is pretty dope. And they also have this recliner on each side of the seat, so that is pretty dope. So this is how the back of the seat looks with the Mugen logo. Another thing that I wanted to share with you guys that I usually keep in the car is this padding from Mugen when you buy these Mugen seats. So you can actually stick this little foam piece between the seats, and let me show you guys. So I can actually stick my hand behind the seat right here, and I can stick that little pad back there for my lower back, so I can have a little bit more extra padding behind my lower back while I'm driving. So that is pretty dope that Mugen gives you that padding for your lower back, so when you're driving the car long distance or you're tracking the car, you will have that extra security. So that is pretty dope. So that's it for the interior. I did a couple things to the interior to make it my own and have a nice touch to it, but now let's talk about the exterior. I know I have a lot of things going on. I know you guys are probably like, man, this thing looks freaking insane, it looks dope. Let's jump right into the exterior because there is a lot of stuff going on. So one of the first mods that I did to the exterior is these Mugen visors. So the Mugen visors are actually rain visors, so when you're actually in the car, let me show you guys. What is pretty dope is when you're inside of the car, this is how the Mugen ventilated visors look. You can see right through them. It looks like just a little tint on it, but you can see exactly right through them. But the dope part about these rain visors by Mugen is you can roll down the window and crack the window some more, and when it's raining or you want to get some air, it will not get inside the interior of the car. It will run off of the rain visor and you can get fresh air by cracking the window. If anytime you want to crack the window and it's raining, none of the water gets in, it falls off of the rain visors and you can get fresh air while you're driving. So that is pretty dope. And one thing I like about the Mugen visors, it has a really unique look. So when you actually look at it, it has like a nice kind of curve, kind of like a wind tunnel on the side, and it definitely makes the car look very unique. And another way you could tell that is Mugen is they have the Mugen logo right here. They have the Mugen logo on the rear of the visors. So that is a pretty dope and unique touch. In my opinion, it makes the side profile of the car with the window pop a lot more. All right, so this is how the front end of the car looks. Another mod that I did was the red HJDM emblem in the front. It definitely makes the car stand out a lot and pops and matches the SI badge as well. So I really like how the red emblem looks. It definitely gives it a nice unique look, especially when someone sees that red H emblem in the rear view mirror as well. I also did the red HJDM emblem for the rear as well, and I also did this chrome piece for the trunk. I wrapped it in like a carbon fiber wrap to give it a better unique look for the trunk and the rear of the car. So when you see the carbon fiber wrap for the rear of the car, it matches the rear diffuser and everything, so it looks like one whole piece. Let's talk about all of the lips on the car, so like the front lip, the side skirts, and the wing and the rear lip. So let's talk about the front lip. So a lot of you guys have been asking me, where can you get this front lip? So if you guys don't know, this is the Honda factory performance front lip, and you can get these paint match from Honda. My color car is called Dino Blue Pearl. Front lip is for the 09s through 2011 Honda Civic, and it definitely gives it that aggressive look. Kind of looks like a shark in my opinion. And this car, I guess I can definitely say this car was definitely the car that made me come up with the name EvilStreetShark, because it looks menacing with the demon eyes. It looks like a shark in the front, and it's a street car. So the front lip looks very aggressive. This is the HFP front lip. I want to talk about is the OEM Mugen side skirts. So as you guys can see, same thing with the Mugen visors, it has that little curve. The same thing with the Mugen side skirt, it has that little curve where the side skirt sticks out a bit more from the side as well, so it definitely gives it a nice unique look as well. And one thing I like about the side skirt is it gives it a very low ground effect. For example, what I mean by that is when you actually take the side skirt off, the side skirt on the body of the car does not actually sit as low as the side skirt. So the side skirt actually sits a lot lower than the original side skirt of the car. So that is the dope part of adding an actual side skirt to the car. It gives it that extra lower look to the side of it, so that is pretty dope. For the rear of the car, I have this OEM Mugen rear lip. So this Mugen rear lip is one of my favorite exterior parts of the car, because it definitely makes the rear of the car look a lot more aggressive and it stands out a lot more. And like I was saying about the side skirt, it makes the rear of the car look a lot lower to the ground and it stands out and looks very aggressive. So the Mugen rear lip goes all the way to this curve of the rear bumper, and I don't know if you guys can see, but the OEM rear bumper stops like right here and the Mugen ends all the way down there, so it definitely makes it look a lot lower, as you guys can see. And then it has this diffuser as well, and it has like little fins at the bottom. It definitely changes the whole rear look of the car. It also has like a cover here when you get the rear lip where you could take off and you can add this aftermarket rear fog light. So this rear fog light is from K Playground. This is their rear fog light 43 LED, and it looks very nice and unique, and it flows very well with the car. And as you guys can see, it has that clear third brake light as well, and it also has the rear fog light as well. So when you look at both of them, it basically flows together and really comes together and changes the whole rear of the car, and it looks very nice and unique. Also, my favorite exterior part of the car is the Mugen OEM rear wing. This OEM Mugen rear is a 4-piece wing. So you have the middle piece of the wing, you have the separate piece for the third brake light that actually fits the OEM SI spoiler, and you have the 2 ends on each side. So it's a 4-piece wing, so you have those 2 pieces on the sides, the middle, and the part for the third brake light. And this is an adjustable wing. So as you guys can see the wing now, it looks like this. You can also change the position of the wing from this to have it look even more aggressive, so that is pretty sick as well. The next exterior mod that I have done to the car is this rear window visors. So this is also from K Playground as well. I believe this is their wheel version 2 roof spoiler, and this is just an exterior look. It really doesn't do much. It just sits on the back of the rear window, and it kind of gives it that extra kind of like shark look to it. So when you see it from the side with the rear wing, the Mugen rear lip, and the Mugen side skirts, it kind of gives it that kind of unique look. Kind of looks like a shark in my opinion. It definitely, in my opinion, gives it kind of like a shark aggressive look when it's rolling. When you look at the car from the side, it definitely gives it that aggressive look to it. If you were to take the roof spoiler off, it will look very subtle, but I definitely gotta say, with the roof spoiler, it definitely makes the car pop a little bit more and gives it that nice unique touch. The exterior of the car is, I upgraded the factory fog lights to yellow fog lights. So at nighttime, when you have your fog lights on, they have like a unique yellow look to them, and it definitely makes the car stand out at nighttime. And in my opinion, the yellow fog lights really help when it's actually raining pretty hard at nighttime and you want to see what's in front of you. In my opinion, it helps you with your visibility a bit more than if the light was just bright white. Favorite exterior mods would be the retrofitted headlights that I did on my 2011 8THGEN Honda Civic Si. So what I did was get an 06 to 08 headlight. So you know it's a 06 to 08 because it has this amber headlight. The 2011 that I originally had on this car, the turn signal is actually chrome with a little bit of orange. So I like the full orange look. What I basically did was open up the headlight and I got some blacked out like matte paint, and what we did was the original chrome pieces that were inside of the car, we basically blacked all of that out, blacked out the shroud, blacked out the other chrome piece that sits around the day running lights, and we kept the OEM black bezel from inside of the original headlight. The only thing that we kept chrome was the actual reflection of the day running light, so you can still have that nice bright yellow reflection. If you guys want to know what bulbs do I have for the day running lights, I have the Nokia yellow day running lights. So you guys are probably wondering, why did I retrofit my headlights? The reason why I retrofitted my headlights, because a lot of newer cars that have the projector, when you're driving at night, you can see a lot more light on the road compared to just a halogen bulb, and you get way more visibility. So this was a must-have upgrade for me, being able to see a lot more at night and have that good visibility. And you basically kind of like modernize your car for not just having a halogen bulb or just putting a bulb in it, and you also don't blind people as well with having a projector retrofitted headlight as well. I know, guys, bear with me, I do have a lot of mods done to this car. I also have this carbon fiber Vis Racing RR hood for my 2011 8THGEN Honda Civic Si. I love this hood. It definitely changes the whole front end of the car, and it gives it this very aggressive look from the front, and it makes the car stand out a lot. One thing I like about the Vis Racing hood is that it actually has like a black and gray weave to it. I know Sabon also makes this hood as well, but the weave is like a yellow weave to it, and I really like the Vis Racing a lot better because the gray and black weave looks very subtle when the sun hits it, and it kind of looks black, but then when you kind of walk up on it, you can see the different carbon weave in it. So it definitely stands out and looks very aggressive. Another thing is with the Vis Racing hood that it comes with is you can actually remove these rain covers and you can expose the engine and have more heat come out of the engine. So I can actually take this cover out, which is holding by just 4 bolts, and you can see right down into the engine bay, and all of that heat can come out. So that is another neat and dope feature by Vis Racing with their carbon fiber hood. Also, guys, if you guys don't know, I also have the demon eyes for the projector headlight. So while you have the headlights open, you can add the demon eyes inside of the projector. And of course, I can't really show you guys right now because it is super bright outside with the sun, but you can also control which color you want. So I can put red demon eyes, blue demon eyes, yellow, green, purple. Another thing that I really can't show you guys, but I can tell you guys, is I also have the Airlift Performance 3H kit. So the Airlift Performance 3H kit comes with height sensors. So I have height sensors on each side corner of the car. So the driver's side, the passenger side rear, the driver's side rear. So I have sensors on each corner. So if I add weight into the car, it would automatically recognize the weight in the car, and it will maintain the ride height and add pressure into the bags as well. So I can still keep the same ride height, add a ton of stuff to the car, and it will still maintain our ride height, which is pretty dope, and I won't have uneven wear on my tires as well. So that is the awesome part of having air suspension as well. So you can throw a bunch of stuff in the car, it will notice for the extra stuff in the car, it would add more pressure in the car, it will keep that same ride height so you're not rubbing. And another benefit with having air suspension is I can air the car up if I need to get into a gas station, or if I travel state to state with this car, and the road is very terrible and they have a bunch of different bumps. So I don't mess up my fenders or nothing, I can air the car up in and out of a gas station. If the road is terrible, if there's uneven roads, I can double tap, air the car up, get over the uneven road, go back down to my ride height, and I am on my way. Another dope thing that you can also do is air the car out to the ground. So I could basically air the car out to the ground, and basically by doing that, of course, you get the look of the car slammed to the ground, but as well, nobody can steal your wheels or try to, I guess, steal your car or tow your car as well, because your car is basically slammed to the ground. So that is another benefit of having air suspension as well. So the wheels that I have on the car are Advance RGD2s. So these are Advance RGD2s machining and hyper black, and I also have the flat caps as well that says Advanced Racing, which looks dope. It says Advanced Racing. It's a flat cap, and it also has the Advanced RGD2 sticker as that on there as well, and it has this very concave look to the wheel. It definitely pops a lot. I get a lot of head turns, and a lot of people give me thumbs up. People really love how the wheels look on the car. It stands out and pops. I really love these wheels. They look very aggressive with their concave, and it definitely changes the whole look of the car. And one thing I love about these wheels is it has kind of like a machine chrome lip. It's not actually chrome, it's like a machine finish with like a bunch of lines in it, so it has that chrome appearance look to it. Another thing that I did was these open end neochrome lug nuts. It also helps make the wheel pop a little bit more, and it makes it look very unique. Another thing that I did was upgrade the original brake caliper from 2-piston to this 4-piston spoon front caliper. If you guys didn't know, Nissan, this company, actually makes Honda's OEM front calipers from the factory. So what they did was team up with Spoon and create a upgraded 4-piston caliper, and it fits with the stock rotors and everything, and it becomes plug and play. So that is pretty dope by Spoon to team up with Nissan to come up with this upgraded 4-piston, and it has this nice unique blue to it. It came out amazing. So big shout out to Spoon. I love their front bigger brakes because they're plug and play, very easy to install, and they look amazing, and it flows very well with my color blue as well. It doesn't throw it off or anything. It flows very well with it, so that is pretty sick as well. Another thing that I did was install StopTech slotted and drill rotors for the front and rear. Another thing that I did was get the StopTech stainless steel braided lines as well. And here is how the rear wheels look with the slotted and drill rotors and the stock caliper as well. So another thing that I wanted to show you guys was how does the trunk look when it's open. So as you guys can see, this is where the roof riser sits, come in contact with each other, so that is pretty sick as well. I wanted to show you guys my trunk setup for the air suspension. So first things first, I want to let you guys know that if you go to where your spare is, I still have my spare. So that is one dope thing about having your trunk set up just sitting in the back of your trunk. Another thing that I have under here, as you guys probably don't know, is I have my water trap. So at times when the compressor kicks on and it's very hot outside, it will suck the air in so it can fill up the tank, and sometimes when the hot air and it sucks in cool air, it will create water inside of the tank, and before that water that develops in the tank tries to go to the struts, the water trap will catches that extra water. It actually has a hose outside of the car, as you guys can see there, and it will shoot any type of water that's in the tank before it even gets to the strut out into this water trap, and it will leave from the water trap outside of the car. So that is pretty dope. So let's talk about my trunk setup. So my trunk setup, I have this piece of wood here, and I have another piece of wood back there. where the tank sits. So how air suspension works is the compressor sucks the air in and puts all the air in the tank, and the tank holds the air. So when you're inside the tank, it will give you the reading of how much pressure is inside of the tank. So all of the air sits in the tank, and then when you want to double tap the button and air the car up, the air will leave the tank and it will put air in all of the passenger side, the driver's side, the rear bags on the driver rear, and then passenger rear, and it will air the car up. So that is how air suspension works. You also have this drain feed at the bottom of the tank. So what you do is you will get something like a pen or like something to push down on this valve, and it will let all of the water that's in the tank out as well. So that's another way you can drain your tank and not have water in it. So that is pretty dope as well. So like I was telling you guys, this stand right here is wood. It is wrapped in this black kind of carpet as well, and it flows very well with the rear. And also I have this isolator kit on top of the compressor. So what the isolator kit does, it helps with vibration and reduce noise when the compressors kick on. I know some of you guys might be wondering, where is the management? So behind my back seat right here, if you put the back seat down, you have the airlift management. All right guys, so let's talk about the engine performance. So if you guys don't know, stock, this car makes about 197 horsepower to the crank, and this is a 4-liter 2.0 VTEC. So this car does have VTEC. It makes 197 horsepower, and this car revs out pretty high, and this car revs out stock to like 8200 RPM. So that is a lot of RPMs to rev out to. So if you guys don't know, this car is tuned, and the full bolt-ons that I have on this car is the Skunk 2 3.5 inch cold air intake, and they call it a cold air intake because the intake goes all the way in this corner to get cold air. And I also have the P2R red throttle body spacer. So what it does is make a little space from the throttle body and the actual intake manifold of the car, so you can have that little gap and the intake manifold doesn't get too hot and continue just sucking more air in. It has that little gap to help get that cooled air inside of the car. This car also have the Skunk 2 Mega Power header. You can't see it because it actually is behind the engine and goes down to the back of the car. So it's a catless Skunk 2 Mega Power header. And I also have the Go Power 3-inch exhaust, and I know you guys are always giving me comments about it. You guys are always saying that the exhaust sounds really good. That's how the exhaust tip looks. It says Go Power on the side of it. I don't know if you guys can see it. I know it's pretty dirty right now, but it's a nice looking tip on the rear of the car. It looks very subtle, flows with the diffuser very nice. So I'm gonna tell you guys the full bolt-ons again. It has the Skunk 2 3.5 inch cold air intake, it has the Skunk 2 Mega Power catless header, and it also has the Go Power 3-inch catback exhaust. This car tuned is making 224 horsepower and 156 pounds of torque. And I also have the Optima yellow top battery, power the whole car, all the air suspension, and the demon eyes that I have on the car as well. So you guys are probably wondering, what is next for the car? So my goal for the car next, and I know you guys seen that I have done a lot to this car, a lot. The next goal that I want to do to the car is make the car faster, of course. So as I told you guys, right now the car's making 224 horsepower, 156 torque. My goal for this car is to make 450 horsepower. So to make that power, I definitely want to go turbo. So I want to turbo the car next. This car turbo can make 450 horsepower, no problem. The only thing that is weak about this car is the transmission. The engine is very strong with all of the stock internals, everything. So you can make 450 horsepower with this motor with turbo wing, which is insane for how light this car is. With that much power, this thing is going to be insane, and it is going to pull very hard. You can also make 500 horsepower with this stock motor as well, but then you're really pushing the engine and you're really pushing the transmission. So if you decide you want to make 500 horsepower, you can, but the only thing you have to watch out that's probably going to break first is the transmission. But you can make 500 horsepower. But you also have to think 500 horsepower in this lightweight car that doesn't weigh a lot, you are going to be hurting a lot of feelings, and it's going to be an insanely fast car as well. And that's the awesome thing about these Hondas, is that they are very lightweight. They're not heavy at all, and you can make a lot of power out of them. You can make some crazy horsepower numbers, and again, you can hurt a lot of feelings as well. And of course, this car is not crazy expensive as well, so that is another thing. So you could throw a little bit money at it, make it fast, and not spend a lot of money on a high performance expensive car, and have a fast car, hurt a lot of feelings, and you will have a fun car. I will be talking more about this in the future. That is my next big step with this car. Of course, right now it is really kind of bad right now to actually decide you want to boost a car or do anything with cars right now. With the coronavirus and this pandemic going on, it's a really bad time. It's a really crazy time right now. A lot of people are getting sick, and a lot of people are waiting for this vaccine so people can start going to work, and there's a lot of people out of work right now, so it is a really hard time. But that is my next goal for this car, is to go turbo, make 450 horsepower, and enjoy the car and share the experience with you guys. That's it for the video. If you guys really enjoyed this video, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, because I have a lot more content for my 8THGEN Honda Civic Si and the Type R as well. And also guys, hit the notification bell to be notified on when new videos drop. But that's it guys. If there's anything that you guys want to achieve, find your inner drive, the thing that drives you to take a step toward your goals every single day, and make it happen. Peace.